Okay, so I know it's late, but I was reminded of something recently that I had completely forgotten. Right before the formation of the hurricane, it might have been a couple of days, it wasn't even in the news or anything, but I was talking to my youngest sister a couple nights ago, and she reminded me of something that I'd totally forgotten. She said, "Do you remember the dream you told me about that you had?" And it was a dream, and I had totally forgotten it. Even when I was talking to her, the dream was not in my mind. So I was really kind of upset, and I asked the Lord, and said, "Lord, can you just bring that back so I can see that vision again, so I can remember what it was?" And then he did bring it back that same night, and this was before, and it was, I haven't been getting a lot of stuff, but but when I do get something, I know it's significant, right? But what I saw was, I just saw a single palm tree and water, just water. And what it reminded me of, it was like the receding after a tsunami had happened. But it was the area was so flooded, and it was areas that would not normally be flooded. But the area was so flooded that the only thing you could see was one single palm tree, and the sense was everything else was just covered by the water. Now, I didn't even, this is before the hurricane. And again, when I was talking to her a couple nights ago, and she was reminding me of this, she's like, "Remember the dream you had about the just water covering and this flooded area, and it was as if a tsunami was a receding after a tsunami." And even when she was telling me, I could not for the life of me remember, and it had totally left my mind. And I don't even know why I had told her, right? And so and then the hurricane happened. And then there was flooding even in the mountainous areas of North Carolina, which is Asheville, that's in the mountains. But there was flooding. So it was a place where normally there wouldn't be any flooding. And so what happens is, sometimes I get these things and I may tell one person, and I know I'm supposed to actually share it. I'm supposed to share almost everything that I get, because it's when the Lord gives me something. And my younger sister reminded me of this. When He gives you something, it's because the thing is about to happen. It's close, and that's just how He reveals things to me, and the timing of things. It's not always the case. Sometimes things are a little further away, but it's usually kind of like a big warning, and I'm supposed to warn people. But it's not funny. What happened was, the devastation, and to top it all off, the fact that FEMA doesn't have the money to be able to help the people. And VP Harris is talking about how they're giving people $700, $750. With inflation the way it is, $750, you could barely fill up your car with that, for more than a couple of times, and food, and, the devastation. People have lost their homes, they've lost everything. So what can $750 do? It's almost an insult. It's almost like, "Here, let me just give you $1 because we know we have to give you something, because otherwise it would look bad for us." It's disgusting. It's disgusting what they've spent most of the money, almost $1 billion this year, on giving money to people who came flooded over the border and came over here illegally. And there are so many injustices, I can't even list them all. But all that to say that that the Lord is really speaking. He really does try to share. Not try to share, He really does share to alleviate suffering. Because you know what? The government can only do so much for us. It's the Lord. It's the Lord. It's the Lord. And if He's always trying to talk to us. He's always. But if we had listening ears, if I had gotten on and really shared that, I really need to be. But you get so busy. That's the thing. We get so busy with our lives. The busyness of life will rob you of some of the most important things that you're to do, because you're doing the busy things that we do. We're doing things that we're supposed to do. But all that to say, let's just try to be really more sensitive to the things of the Lord. And when He is telling us things, when He is revealing things, we really need to be responsible to share them. So And then they're saying that, so that was Helene. They're saying that there's another storm that's brewing that could be worse than what Helene was. And to be perfectly honest, we didn't, we're here in South Carolina, but we didn't experience really any of it. We didn't even have any outages or anything like that. I think maybe the electricity blipped for about a second, and that was it. But we were safe. Nothing, no great inconvenience or anything like that. So thank God. God really safeguarded us, and it was great. But we really need to continue to pray for the people who've lost everything. They've lost family members. They're saying that there are hundreds of people who are still missing. And again, this is just the beginning of hurricane season, and FEMA is out of money. And Mayorkas, the director, he's the one, this is the guy who heads up Homeland Security and all of that. And it's really, really shameful that people have been really left in the lurch. Thank God for people who are private citizens. President Trump is running for office, but he's done something. He was first on the scene. He got Elon Musk involved in getting people the ability to be in communication with them, in communication period, and with their families, etc. So thank God for private citizens who do things that they don't have to, because the government is really lacking right now, really lacking, especially in emergency situations where people really need the help. So thank God for those who will take it upon themselves to help. And so all that to say, let's continue to pray for these people, and let's continue to heed the word of the Lord. I do want to share one more thing, but I'm going to make that a separate video. It's just being encouraged when there doesn't seem to be any encouragement. So God bless you guys, and we'll be back on with another video.